Hello, friends. This is Alia Jamal, the Love Coach, and today we are not meeting to talk about um, inner emotional healing or emotions or love. Today we are talking about something so different, so unique that most of you might not even know that side of me, and that is my understanding of different religions. I do study different religions, different spiritual paths, and combining them all together and understanding myself as a Muslim better, understanding the religion I was born into, Islam, even better. So what I am bringing today, I am bringing the topic is metaphysical essence of Ramadan. So Ramadan is starting March 11. And this conversation could be for someone who's just curious to know, like how I am a curious soul. I'm always learning new things. Or you could be a Muslim and you just want to understand more about Ramadan, why we do it, why it even exists, part of being a Muslim, because it is like the central part kind of the year. If you do know a Muslim, you have a friend who observe fasting, please share it with them. The more people know, the better it is that why we do what we do. So let's get into it. I don't know how long this would be, and I don't know what I will share. I do have an outline, but before I started, I just asked the light to use me as a channel and share whatever wants to be shared through me. So this would be more from a intuition level than a very structured level. But I do have 6 points that I want to share with you. So first, let's get into that. Why is it even important for us to understand whatever we practice? So what I'm going to do, it would be easier for me to do that. Usually I'm talking to everybody. I'm just going to talk to a fellow Muslim, right? I'm talking to one of my Muslim clients. I'll just do that. That would be easier to keep me on track. So generally, when Ramadan is coming, it's a month of festivities, it's a month of Quran, because that's when the revelation of Quran started. It's a month of just like high, no sleep, lots of hunger, lots of thirst, especially. I mean, right now it's coming in winter, so it's not. Um, but then what happened the very first day, we are high, and then the 1 week passes, and then we're like, when will it be over? I know that I am doing it, but when will it be over? Like that consciousness just start creeping into it, start to become heavy, it starts to become burdensome. And then comes the last 10 nights, which is like the home run, which where Laylatul Qadr is, which is the night of, there's so much about it. I can go on and on. So if you're Muslim, you know what Laylatul Qadr means. When we get there, we are tired, we are exhausted, we are just done. And all we can think about, what am I wearing on Eid day? Who's coming? What I'm cooking? And that's all we can think. So, what I want to share with you all today is how can you stay just as excited, just as energized till the last day, all 30 days, instead of just, 1 day or 2 day or 1 week, where you say, like, "Oh, it's really hard on me, but I'm still doing it because I'm supposed to do it." That is the consciousness we want to release. So, what I'll be sharing with you, most of you do know that right now I've been studying Kabbalah, which is Jewish mysticism, and that is where a lot of depth of knowledge is coming. I also am doing a PhD in metaphysics, where a lot of the metaphysical concepts come, who we are in this big, beautiful universe. I'm also an energy healer, so I'm always studying the energy body of us. I have also studied briefly Hinduism too, so I'll be talking more from the spiritual development from that perspective as well. And I'll be just bringing a lot of stuff together. I would do my best to highlight where I have learned what. If you want to go into deeper study, you can go study in that discipline. But this is going to be a melting pot of how I understand things after a lot of study and a continuous study, and maybe you can benefit from it too. So it's truly coming at that level of one student sharing what she has discovered for whoever is interested to learn from that. Okay, so first let's look at why do we have if we look at all the religions, we would have like, a very structured way of praying. There's like, so if we look at just Islam, there's Quran, there's 5 time prayer, there's fasting, there's Hajj, there's Zakah, there's like, these things that are put in place for us to follow. Why? Why do we have to fast? Why do we have to pray 5 times? These are all the tools that we are given for our own spiritual growth. My soul came in this body, and this time it decided to come into a Muslim female body, so it can elevate. So if I am fasting, if I'm praying 5 times, it is so I can elevate, my soul can elevate. It's not because somebody's trying to punish me by asking me to stay hungry. So Ramadan is a tool for your soul's elevation. And you will start hearing imams in the masjid talk about it, like, enter in Ramadan, you come out of it very energized. And a lot of people, they struggle with that. They are so high in Ramadan and they go. Whoosh. So what I'm about to share with you, it will help you to stay in that high. And it's not impossible. If I can do it, you can do it too. I have been able to carry my high from one Ramadan to other, and you can do it too. So let's look at it. It's a tool that is given to you so you can evolve in your spiritual levels. What I have learned from my study, there are 125 levels of soul that it can evolve to. We don't know where we are. So just to share, there's an unlimited growth your soul can go through. And this Ramadan is one of the opportunity. Second layer I want to add to the way this universe is created, nothing is for me alone. Everything is for me and for the sake of sharing. So if I am evolving, it has to be so I can share that evolution. So if during Ramadan, I'm going to become a higher soul, it's also so I can uplift other souls too. So nothing is just for me. It's always for me and also for the sake of sharing, for helping humanity. So when one soul evolves, it helps all the souls. So that is another thing I'll be coming back to more to share with you, that the tool is there, that when you practice it, you help yourself and everybody else. So it's very important to keep that in mind. And when we talk about helping everybody else, is it like your kids? Is it your husband? Is it your family? It's humanity. It's every single human on this face of the earth. You might think like, me, one person staying hungry all day, who's going, how, how can I benefit somebody who's suffering in Africa, right? We could be thinking that I'm just one human, living here in New Jersey. How can I change anybody else's life? We are talking about soul. When your soul elevates, it elevates the soul of somebody suffering somewhere in the world as well. We all are connected. We are one soul, even if we are in different bodies, in different colors, in different religions, in different gender. We all are one. And the second thing I want to share with you is the 3-column system. 3-column system. That is something I learned in Kabbalah, that um, that is a many mile deep concept, which I don't think so I have fully understood, but I'll be sharing whatever I have understood. So there is sharing, receiving, and restriction. So the right column would be sharing. So usually like, your right hand. So if we give gifts from right hand, we shake right hand, we eat from right hand. The left column is receiving. And that is we need to balance the sharing and receiving. We all know that. It's good to balance the two. And then the middle column is restriction. And when I can find the balance in sharing and receiving and also restricting myself, that is when I start to elevate to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. And being in the physical body, it is very challenging to balance the receiving and sharing and also restricting. Now, when we say the word restricting, what does that even mean? What could be restricting for one person could not be restricting for another person. For example, let's say if I talk too much, I might need to learn to restrict and not say certain things, not say certain things in front of certain people, just to be kind, just so I'm not becoming a destroyer in the home, in my community, in that way, or in the whole world. For someone who does not speak up and they just stay quiet, for them, restriction could mean that, they need to speak up. They need to stop, like, they need to restrict themselves from staying quiet and actually speak up. So this is not a cookie cutter system that we can say and we can just rub it all over. That is just me introducing you to the system. So what happens in Ramadan? It's all restrictions. We restrict and we train our body. Our body consciousness takes over us all day long. That's why we are reactive, we are hungry, we are overeating, and our soul is just like, okay, I'm waiting for you to like stop giving so much attention to your body so you can listen to me. We are stuck in our five physical senses. But what happens in Ramadan? You let go of your body needs. No food, no drink, no sexual pleasure. Holding what you really want to say, not saying anything negative, doing your best, not listening to negative, not seeing the negative. It's restriction of your whole body. So when we start to build that central column, we do that for 30 days. That is a muscle that you're building. That's why it's a month you can elevate your soul to as high as you want to go. And I'll be sharing with you what you can do throughout. But moving into Ramadan, that I am getting a chance to build this muscle that is going to help me win marathons. And I am given this structured tool to assist me to build that for 30 days. So Ramadan is, of course, about sharing and receiving as well, but it's more about that central column energy, restriction. What happens when we practice restrictions? We can elevate beyond our body consciousness. When I want to get a lot of stuff done, or I want to create some amazing content, I fast that day because I learn I can control my body and I'll be closer to my soul so I could hear that. It's easier to go to elevated consciousness when our body's not controlling us. And that is the gift that you get having this tool of Ramadan, tool of fasting. So when we are in that restriction mode, right? You're restricting, you can really go very high in your development. You can go really high and you're going against your body. That's why we have this concept that, you know, um, fasting is one of those things that on Day of Judgment, nobody can take it from you. It's only between you and God because it's all about restriction. It's that central column energy. And when you restrict from that place, oh my God, right now I'm building the most beneficial muscle in my body by not drinking water, by not eating, by not engaging with anything that has to do with my physical senses. I am elevating to that level of my soul. But if I look at it from this place that one more day, I have to stay hungry. I cannot break my fast. Everybody would know. Then I'm not getting benefit of that higher level consciousness that I do have access to. Then I'm playing in the lower plane. So when we do it from this place where we are excited, where we understand what's actually going on, we can go to those elevated states of being. Now, I want to bring this one concept from the energy body that I understand. There are 5 chakras above the crown chakra. So usually, like, in Hinduism, those are the chakras they're focusing on, like swamis who are sitting there meditating, they're opening those higher chakras. That is what you get access to. In Kabbalah, we understand them as different. The word is Sephiroth, which is I'm still a very newbie student, so I would not be able to talk a lot about it, but there are 10 dimensions of our own existence that we can activate and expand to and develop to. But that opportunity is available for your soul. Your soul has the opportunity to expand as much as it wants because the body is restricted. The body consciousness is in control. It's almost like, when you're playing games, like when I used to play games with my siblings when I was little. This is we're talking about many decades ago. And one kid is running and trying to catch to the other, and then this one older kid will come and hold on to one and tell the other one, just run as far as you can, while this other kid is just like, no, let me go, I want to catch him, or I want to catch her, right? So what Ramadan is helping you do, this tool as a structure, it's holding on to your body. I got your body consciousness, so you can run as far as you want to go. So you have the opportunity available to develop your soul to any level that you want. Now, why do we want to even develop our soul? Like, what is that about? Why do we want to develop that soul? Why can't we just live a happy life, retire, die, and just go back to wherever we go? When soul comes into this body, it's here so it can draw in energy, light. It can draw in light because humans have the ability to do that. Trees are not doing it. They're just happily existing. They don't have any darkness. They're just like, they're like babies. They're happy. Human have that light and darkness within them. And we also have the ability to pull in more light of our soul. So let's say if I start pulling in more light of the soul, what's happening? I'm increasing the light on earth. If you start doing it now, we both are increasing the light on earth. If 5 million people start doing it, now we are increasing the light on earth. So that's why it's very important for all human to develop spiritually. What does that mean? It only means understanding who you are as a soul and become more like your soul and less like the human self. Because human self has ego. So again, we are given this opportunity to develop to that soul level. I'm just keeping an eye on my notes. So in Ramadan, we all get the opportunity and chance while our body consciousness is in restriction, we can draw in as much light as we want. And who knows how elevated we could be. But we have to connect with this consciousness. If you're just going around through Ramadan, you're just like, another year, I have to stay hungry for a month. Oh my God, it's so hard. I'm not gonna get my coffee. How I'm gonna do it? if you're moving with that consciousness, you're not adding to the light of this world, you're actually adding to the darkness of this world. So it's very important we do everything from a very specific level of consciousness to really get the benefit of the tool. It's a tool given to us to elevate. And there are, I just did a quick Google search. There are about 1.8 billion Muslim on the planet right now who are within a week. Most of them would be fasting. Most of them would be fasting. Most of them would be coming together. They'll be praying together. Imagine how much light we can draw in. And I know right now Lent is coming, so same goes for Christian community as well. As they are restricting, they are not eating one thing or whatever they have given up. That's restriction. My friend, that we are becoming a channel of even drawing more lights. And it's very important that you understand that only human can do that. Animals are not going to do that either. We came to this planet so we can draw in more light and we can transform the darkness. And if we just end up getting divided, we are just bringing more darkness in. We are on the darkness side. So as you are entering into the month of Ramadan, keep this in front of you. I want to draw in more light. I want to draw in so much light that I can transform this world right now, the consciousness of the collective. I can transform that. And you might think like, Ali, I'm one person. What can I do? You're a human, my friend. One of the things I'm going to do is, as I was preparing it, I realized I have not done a podcast or a teaching on what does it even mean to be a human. So till I do that, you're so powerful. I talked about there are 125 levels of soul development. Imagine if somebody can expand to that level. To me, that means just expansion. This is my light. How much I can expand that light, right? Can I expand it all the way till 125 levels? We don't even have to go all the way 125 levels. Even if we can evolve to a certain extent where I see you as a reflection of me, not separate than me. If I can love you just as much as I love myself, if every time I look at you, I see God within you, even if I get to that level, that alone can transform the whole world because that creates a ripple effect. That is a very higher level of consciousness that I can get to as a human. I couldn't get there if I was in an animal body. You can get there as a human. So you can transform the planet. You, one person, can transform the one planet, but we have to be connected to that consciousness. Now, a few things I want to share. Um, Food is very important when it comes to elevation, when we are evolving to those higher levels. If you would study, awakening or ascension in Hinduism, there's a lot of oil involved. People are drinking oil, they're drinking like a bowl of ghee. For those who don't know, it's clarified butter. Um, why oil is so much needed. So there's something about the constitution of what's happening in my body to how easily my soul can float up. So fat plays a big role in it. Also, we know that our brain is a lot of fat. Um, and our brain is involved in that process. Our heart is involved, and our brain is also involved in that process because, again, it's the upper five chakras. It happens from crown chakra up. So when energy is elevating in that direction, I do need more oil. So you might already know that in Ramadan, we all plan to lose weight, then we eat all kind of fried food. When you open your fast, all you want to do is eat some fried food. And most of us come out of Ramadan weighing heavier than we walked in. So I know we all love fried food. No matter what cuisine you're in, Ramadan table would be filled with fried food. replace it with maybe a very high quality olive oil. You can make even that is what I'm planning to do this year. You can make like pesto um with a lot of oil. You can spread it a little bit on bread, on a sourdough bread. Stay away from regular carbs if you wish. And it's very important for your body to get some oil during this, you can say, elevation process or ascension process. It's very important for your body to actually have oil. Also, it helps you with all your other, keeping a balance in your GI tract that comes with fasting. We all have experienced constipation during fasting because there is a lack of water, lack of fiber. So oil is not just going to help your body, but it's a very important element of ascension as well. When I call them growth spurt, when I am going through that jump and all of a sudden I want to eat fries and I want to eat sugar, I know what's happening. So now with time, I have found better ways to give myself that. So it would be oil, some form of sugar, and some salt. If you're a person who doesn't take any sweetener, any sugar at all, have a date, have some fruit. If you will pay attention to like whatever I'm sharing, it already exists. But when we understand why I'm doing it, now you're plugged into the consciousness that now you can actually benefit from it because your body, your cells, they respond to the consciousness. If I'm eating a fried samosa with like, oh my God, I shouldn't eat it, but it's so good. Like, it's not good for my body. That's a lot of guilt and shame. My body's definitely gaining weight. If I'm eating it with this consciousness, oh my God, I love this oil. My body needs it. I am so happy. It tastes good and it's oily at the same time. I'm not going to gain any weight because our body understands what's going on within us. It responds to that. Um, Another thing that is very important is setting intention. I know usually that is something we talk in the beginning. Who do you want to be at the end of this month of restriction? This month of building that muscle, where when you come out of it, you who do you want to become? What version of you, what elevated version of you do you want to become? And now I know most of us are going to be like, I'm going to be 10 pounds lighter. I'm going to be so organized. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. Like we have all the stuff, like we are going to overwhelm ourselves just like we do on January 1st. Pay attention to who you are being day to day, not what you do, who you are being day to day. Are you a very calm person? Are you a frantic person? Are you an anxious person? Because whatever emotion or feelings that we experience day to day, they show where we are in our level of consciousness. So if I want to leave my body consciousness and I want to go to soul consciousness, it's going to be different. I would evolve. I will come out as more calm person if I stayed plugged in. If I was just passing through it just like another month, that's a different story. But where do I want to direct this energy? What level I want to be at? So this is where I will invite you to stretch your mind because you might have never seen yourself at that elevated state. So you're like, I don't even know what that is. So I'll share with you what I'm doing. So my intention is to know, to get to know. So this is exactly what I wrote. Show me who I need to be to receive all that belongs to my soul. So I am saying that is the intention I'm setting. Show me. Who do I need to be? It could be a knowing I get. It could be a feeling I get. It could be an image that I get. Maybe when I am fasting or when I am praying Tarawih, when I am praying 5 times, when I'm reading Quran, maybe somewhere in there, I'll get a moment of inspiration. Who do I need to be so I can have all that belongs to my soul? What I'm asking is all the light of my soul. I'm asking about all 125 levels of my soul. We all are born abundant. The reason we are not there, and when I say abundant, it means physically, health-wise, financially, and also in terms of relationships. In all three areas, we all are born abundant. When we have not worked on transforming the darkness that is blocking our own soul's light in that area, when we have not done that, that is when we are feeling struggle in that area. And if you don't pay attention to why it's happening, you might just think like, God is angry with you, but that is not the case. We just need to bring in more light in that area, be more like our soul in that area. So that will require practicing some restrictions of who we naturally are, what's easy for us to be in that area, going against our nature. When we practice that, we bring light in that area. So when you are setting this intention, I want to see who I need to be to get to that higher level. You're going to start getting inspiration. Because, if we sit down with our brain and we try to focus on what should I do, who I need to be, the only reflection I will get is comparison with another human. But maybe my soul path is very different. I need to be maybe somebody different than what my fellow humans are. That is where we start asking the direct insight and then be open to receive the insight as well. There's something quickly I want to share with you guys, just so you know how powerful intentions could be. In October of 2022, I was in this class about connecting with higher soul. Let's just leave it at that. We were learning a new meditation. We were understanding the nuances, where we go in the inner world when we close our eyes, like, where everybody is, what we can hear, what we can see. And the teacher shared with us that there's divine spark, there's higher soul, and then there's incarnated soul. And then there's physical body. Most of us, we're living in the physical body. He said, being in the physical body, the highest level of growth you can get to is the divine spark. And he said, I know all of you are very successful in whatever career you are. You have big, massive goal. How about you make your goal to become one with divine spark? That's like the highest spiritual goal a human can set. And most of us, unfortunately, we don't set spiritual goals. We only set physical goals. And then on the process of achieving those physical goals, we spiritually expand because there's no other way to get there. And in that moment, I was like, you know what? I want that. That I want. That intention. I was 100% in that intention, created a domino effect. The way life gave me the opportunities and also I was able to say yes to them is mind-blowing to where I am right now in terms of where I am inside of me. We are not at the divine spark level yet, but I am definitely more out of body than I have ever been before. So when you do set this intention, I want this Ramadan to be, I want this tool to be so beneficial to me this time that I can at least elevate beyond my physical consciousness, my body consciousness that's always pulling me down, that's always asking for instant gratification, whether it's through a like, whether it's through somebody's seeking validation, whether it's because I could eat food or whether it's binge watching Netflix. There's nothing wrong with any of that. But when we start getting consumed by satisfying that instant gratification, every time I satisfy instant gratification, I'm blocking more of my soul light. That's why the path to development is a path of discomfort. It's not of comfort. If I am comfortable, that means I have stopped growing. So I need to maybe, learn something new. Maybe I need to go hang out with different people who are different than me. So something can start moving within me so I can start expanding and growing. So set an intention for this month. Who do you want to be? If you already have a vision, this is my elevated version. This is the version that feels peace, that feels safe inside of her. Like I have recently started to feel more of that inner safety and inner peace, and life is so sweet. It's so beautiful. So all the work I've been doing, it really pays off at some point. It just feels so light to be a human now. So maybe that could be something you can set. Now let's talk about the last 10 nights. Now, last 10 nights, we all know about them. Laylatul Qadr is one of the nights. We all are seeking it. It's the night that is equal to thousands and thousands of lights. Whatever you ask, it's given to you. What it's all talking about, that the those higher dimensions are going to be so close to you that you'll be able to experience all of that. For that one night, your soul would be able to expand to that big expansion. That is what it's talking about. But I also want to share with you that, sometimes we're just like, well, it's almost kind of like Santa. I cannot see it. I was told and I'm just believing it. Is it even real? And we all are looking for signs. And sometimes somebody will say, it was last night. And then we are bummed. Last night was the only night. I didn't get up and I didn't pray. So let me share with you something about night prayer first. Midnight to around 4 a.m.-ish, before dawn. So we know it as the Hajj time. There's this thing within our brain called pineal gland or pineal gland. It's in the kind of like in the middle of our head. When we look at it from like, neuroscience perspective or from like, brain experts perspective, there, it's another gland, it does in its own stuff. But when we start looking at it from a spiritual perspective, that gland is what makes you connect from between your physical body and the soul. Like, that connection that you have, and that gland has more liquid inside it till the age of 12. At the age of 12, if you are living in modern human body, and you're getting exposed to fluoride and a lot of other stuff, it starts to calcify. So let's say there was like kind of like a semi-liquid, and now it's like, calcified. Now it's hard ball. That happens usually at the age of 12 if we don't know how to keep it active. That is when we stop feeling our connection with soul that much, or you can say source that much, or God. That's why we hit 12, we hit 13, and we are lost. We're like, I used to be so happy. What happened? What happened? I used to be so happy. I have had this conversation with teenagers who are going through that switch. And they'd be like, what happened to me? Okay, now I have all this peer pressure. It's like almost they finally descended into the darkness that we all adults experience. All the pressure, all the judgment, and whatnot. So the same pineal gland between midnight till 4 a.m.-ish or 1 a.m. to 4 a.m.-ish is activated in a different way. And it has to do with your sleep cycle and how your soul leaves the body and it's up there. And it also has to do with that is the time when we know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends to lower heavens. We know it in that way too. Somehow, no matter which story you follow, somehow during those hours, you can hear more. You can see more. A lot of creatives, they use those hours to create because they're like, it's so much easier. So as you're going through staying up those last 10 nights, keep in mind that is the part within you that is making it possible for you to have access to whatever you're accessing, whether it's the closeness to your soul, it's its affinity with the light, or you want to really listen to God a little bit more and less to your body, whatever your version is. For me, it's always to be able to live the entirety of my soul. Can I live the entirety of my soul? Can I become one with my divine spark while being in this human body? So, so staying up those last 10 nights, when after 2 nights of like party at the masjid, you're gonna feel tired, you're gonna feel broken into million pieces. That is when you can keep in mind, I am getting the chance to exercise this, the activation of this pineal gland, and I get to have it. I get to have the spiritual connection I'm feeling right now after the 10 nights too. And for those of you who would be on your cycle and you will not be praying or fasting, I know when I was in that age when I did not know any better, I used to feel so bummed and I would do all kind of stuff. I ask God, please, last 10 nights, no, please don't send my period during that time. When we go through our period, and I think I can do a whole section on just on this conversation. Unfortunately, the way Muslim women understand, we feel like, it's a punishment. We go through a beautiful process of elevation. Female body is spiritually more elevated than a male body, just by design. It's nothing about we are better than them or they are better than us. It's nothing about that. It's just the apparatus that we have. That's why in every religion we are told to just pause when we go through our cycle. I can tell you from the energetical perspective, you're literally going through whoop, a shift. And after our period, we are more stronger spiritually if we are tuned into it. And I know those of my friends who follow their cycle throughout their for their productivity, they know this fact. We are so tuned in. So even if you are going through your cycle, get up, sit, talk to God, talk to your soul, engage, have that intention. I am here, I'm building this muscle. You don't have to be just sitting in the masjid and praying. It's the specialty of the time and the training that you're going through. Because again, remember, Ramadan is a spiritual tool you're given while you're in a human body, how you can elevate to the level of your soul even more. It's kind of like, that like if you go for hiking, you will take like, if especially if you're going in a little rugged area, you'll take some hooks, you might take like, a knife, you might take some rope. Those are tools you're taking so you can navigate. This is a tool that you're given so you can navigate. Okay, I think that's all that I wanted to share. And one thing, you can ask me any question in the comments. I'll be putting this on YouTube too. You can put questions there too, because I think it would be better, like whatever question you have, if I can answer them to the best of my ability, I'll answer. But I want to share this one piece. Right now, the whole world, we are at a point where the collective is shifting. It's no longer about you and me or just Muslim and Christian or Jewish or Hindus or white or black or brown and yellow and red, all the colors we have given. It's not about that anymore. We are standing at the tipping point for humanity. And it's the change is not going to come because our politicians are, really good right now. The change is going to come through you and me, regular citizen, regular human. And the change is going to come through by an elevated consciousness. So right now, whether you are Muslim friend watching this and you are excited about Ramadan, you're about to enter into Ramadan, or you're going through Lent or whatever other holidays we are celebrating, or you're just a, grounded spiritual person, we can elevate the consciousness the more we connect with our soul, the more we realize I am somebody beyond this body. And the more we come to connect with that. Now, for a Muslim person, it could be like, coming to Ramadan, coming to prayer, knowing how powerful you are, and you coming together is going to benefit the collective. Again, it's not about just one person anymore or one nation anymore. It's about all of us. So 1.8 billion Muslims are about to enter into and have the opportunity to connect to very, very, very high levels of their soul and spiritually be so high for next 30 days. Add this layer of consciousness. I want to benefit the whole world. I want this elevation I'm experiencing through the restriction. I want this to transform the whole world. I want that darkness of the world to be transformed into this light that I am tuning into, that I'm grabbing onto. I really invite you to practice that consciousness, be aware of it, and go through this month of restriction and come out of it as an elevated version of you, more tapped into your soul. Who knows how high you're going to go, but when you come out of it, remember, it's yours to keep. You have within you the ability to restrict. You have the ability within you to make a different choice when the body temptation come, when the need for instant gratification come. You have that within you. You can restrict yourself. We all say that for some reason in Ramadan, it's so easy. It's the blessed month. It's this and it's that. All true. How those blessings are playing out, because the consciousness of the whole planet is elevated because a lot of people are fasting. So it becomes easy for you to fast. Imagine if we can bring that attitude out of Ramadan, and what a beautiful way we will transform this world. So let's aim for that consciousness, and let's use this beautiful tool that we've been blessed with, and the month of Quran that we are blessed with. Let's use it to heal our beautiful planet, because we have many more generations who are going to come and live here, and we want to make sure it's emotionally healed. It's a beautiful, loving, and nurturing place for them. And I'm sending you so much love. Share this with anyone you think can benefit from it, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.